an off-topic question regarding the legislative pay raises that are expected to go through today. You are saying you're going to veto them. It doesn't seem to matter to the legislature. Do you think they deserve them or not?
Well, I said on my veto message last week when the legislation originally passed that I thought it was fiscally irresponsible and the process that was pursued on it was inappropriate. I mean, basically, first opportunity, first bill of the new session, probably deserved a lot more time and a lot more visibility. I've talked to some folks in the legislature about it and made my case, but obviously we're going to see what the legislature does. I'm not going to take the pay raise. The lieutenant governor's not going to take the pay raise, and I'm not going to take the stipend because there's still a lot of people in Massachusetts who are struggling and hurting, and I think it's important that we sort of stand by them.
It's about boosting their pensions, the leaders.
Well, the report that was done by the folks over at McCormick basically made a case that the leadership in the legislature in Massachusetts was underpaid. Now, I've had a lot of people say to me that they could understand an adjustment, right? I think the big concern and the big beef I've heard from most of the people that have talked to me or talked to our office or talked to people in our administration has been the size and the scale of the adjustment. And I think it's pretty hard to justify given where we are as a Commonwealth and the fact that there are still a lot of programs that people would like us to fund and a lot of stuff that people would like us to support.
Last question. The pensions would go up by quite a bit, the average of 3 years.
Well, if you think about the whole package, I mean, you're talking about the courts and you're talking about both the members of leadership in the House and the Senate. It's a very rich package. The whole thing is about $18 million all in. I don't think we're going to have to find, if it does pass, if my veto is overridden, we're going to have to figure out how to pay for it. And as I said, I don't think it's fiscally responsible.
Thanks, everybody. We got to go. Out of the hands of the legislature. In some states, they leave it up to independent bodies to decide when they deserve pay raises. What do you think about that idea?
Well, the way we dealt with the pay raise for the legislature was, remember, this is all about stipends on top of the pay raise that we filed for the legislature, which was based on a formula. And that formula was off of median household income, the growth in median household income. And that wasn't a complicated number to calculate. You just look it up in the Census Bureau, and based on 2 years of growth in the median household income, we submitted an adjustment to the legislature's base pay. And that, in fact, is a formula that was voted on by the voters and represents the way base pay gets adjusted. Remember, what we're talking about here is judicial pay and constitutional officer pay and legislative leadership pay. And that's being done, through a statutory process, which I don't support.
Thank you, guys.
Tomorrow they're gonna bring arguments on, obviously, the Attorney General's this lawsuit with the ACLU. Thoughts leading into those arguments tomorrow?
I'm going to let the lawyers. We support the Attorney General's brief. We spent a lot of time as an administration talking to her and her team about it. But I'm not going to prejudge that. I think the case that we have to make here in Massachusetts, especially about why this is important to us as a global community and a welcoming community, I think is a good one. And obviously we're hopeful.
Thanks, everybody.
I got to go.
Disappointing. Are you disappointed by that if they do
Well,
vote?
let's see what happens, and we can talk about it then.
Thanks, everybody.